You are listening to Rouge Radio, a proud member of the Canadian Football Podcast Network.
It's time to get the point as Rouge Radio is ready to kick off.
Ready!
The best football talk with the best in the business.
So what is the cost? You have 2 first-round picks this year because the Argos were dumb enough to trade for Drew Willie.
A few rookies.
We go directly to the on-field product. We welcome to the show the 20th overall pick in this past Sunday's CFL draft, DeAndre Wright of the Alouettes. DeAndre, welcome to the show.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for having me.
And the occasional Hall of Famer.
Please welcome Doug Brown, who is one of the members of the current class of 2016 in the CFL Hall of Fame. Doug, thanks for joining us today.
Oh, thank you guys for the kind words and for having me on the program.
Rouge Radio is on the air. Here's your hosts, Robert Dalton and Tony Allen.
Welcome back to another edition of the Rouge Radio podcast, powered by the Canadian Football Podcast Network. We are live from Winnipeg, Manitoba, and somewhere out west. I guess we'll play Let's Know. But first, my name is Robert Dalton, and of course, joining me as always, Mr. Tony Allen. Little house cleaning here. The podcast is sponsored by the good people over at Manscaped. Go to manscaped.com, enter the promo code Rouge. That tells them that we sent you there, and they in turn give you 20% off your entire order, as well as free worldwide shipping. Go to Manscaped. Your balls will thank you. I'm just getting over a brutal cold, as you can tell. I've always noticed, I'm sure that we've talked about this on previous podcasts. My voice goes in like 3 phases. The first one is I sound like the pubescent guy from The Simpsons that works at Krusty Burger. Would you like fries with that?
Your forehead is so greasy.
I had to look at myself in the mirror.
No, it's Homer.
That'll come out of my salary. And then I turn into Michael Keaton Batman. I'm Batman. And then when you can tell that it's starting to go over, which you probably won't hear at all, I start sounding like John Mellencamp. Little ditty about Jack and I. Okay, no singing on this podcast. All right, I think it's like a brutal open. Tony, where are we? Are you back out west in BC?
I am. I'm back in British Columbia in a little community called Elk Valley. It's about a half hour north of Sparwood, and Sparwood is about 2 hours west inside the Alberta border. So still pretty close to home, but still at the Crow's Nest Pass is just down the road. If maybe you're more of an Alberta geography person, it's right along the Crow's Nest Pass.
Is that like Edmonton Football Fan Nation? I mean, it's named after them.
No, we're still south, so this is probably either going to be Stamps territory or possibly BC Lions territory.
I don't think.
And I'm near Fernie. I didn't know. Fernie's one of those towns that I've heard of, but I didn't really know where Fernie was.
Yeah. So
I did actually end up having an afternoon off from work because they sent me on a course and I had an afternoon. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go to Fernie because I know what Fernie is and I've heard of a Fernie. So now I can say I've been to Fernie, and I'll tell you, it is heaven on earth. Like, all the buildings look like ski chalets. The Canadian Tire and the Tim Hortons look like fancy ski chalets. It's a beautiful town.
Nice.
But you only go if you want to ski. That's pretty much it.
I fully expect the town of Fernie to be amongst our listeners when we do Global Rouge.
Yeah. Look for Fernie.
All right, on that one, and I mean, we didn't do the show last week, so it's been about a couple of weeks. Anything new?
Oh, gosh, is there anything? Why do I feel like there is, and then I forgot what it was? But you know what? It'll come to me if it does, but either way, no. Other than the reason why we missed the last show is because something called foot, hand, and mouth disease. Ironically, I have my daughter was at her friend's house, and then her parents messaged us saying, "Oh, listen, just so you know, so and so had this HFMD." Like, oh crap! And Hazel never ended up getting it, but my boys did. So there you go. Weird how it works out, but that is awful. I would not wish that on anybody's kids. That was horrible.
Yeah, no,
but we survived it.
I think any illness out of your from your kids, you would never like. I know when,
you know what,
when
and it's like, but they get sores in their mouths, and that was the toughest thing to watch my kids go through, right? Because like I can really watch my kids go through colds and stuff with absolutely no remorse. Like it's just a cold, and then but when they're dealing with stuff like that where they can't eat and you worry about them eating enough and dehydrating, then that's when it gets bad.
Yeah, no, I know the COVID went through our house the first time, and I think I froze. So
yeah, looks like it. Hopefully it kicks back in.
Yeah. When COVID came in through the first time in our household, my daughter had it the first, like my oldest daughter had it the first time, and she was going through sweats and dizziness, headaches, migraines, nothing in regards to like the common cold. It was just like it was legit, like she had taken some kind of hallucinogenic drugs. And then I was the next person to get it, and it hit me completely different. And I was like, okay, I've dealt with something like this, but you could tell it's different. My wife, a little bit more tender than that. Then my daughter, my other daughter, it hit her like a 12-hour flu. And it was like the Technicolor yawn every five minutes. She couldn't go anywhere without a bucket, and I felt so bad for her. Now that we've grossed out our listeners, let's get to this week's podcast, shall we? Last where was it? 4 nights ago, 3 nights ago, the Winnipeg Blue Bombers eked out a 14-13 win over the Hamilton Tiger Cats, but that's not even the story. Taylor Elgersma and Trey Ford becoming the first U Sport quarterbacks to face each other in a long time. And that's not even the story. The main story is Bo Levi Mitchell going down halfway through the third quarter. Tony, you being a huge Bo Levi Mitchell supporter.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I don't say that with any kind of malicious sarcasm.
No.
Did we witness the last of Bo Levi Mitchell?
I'm going to say yes. He's on the wrong side of 30, pretty much 40 years old. Unless he celebrated a birthday in the first half of the year, he's going to be 40 by the end of the season, but maybe he just turned 39 or something like that. And it just seems bad. Like when you have to have surgery, and I can tell you as an older gentleman myself, you don't bounce back like you did. And it doesn't matter what physical condition you're in for your age, bouncing back is just tough. It just is. I'm sorry, Bo Levi Mitchell, but that's just how biology works. Now, he might heal faster than I would, but I think the best from Bo, and trust me, I don't want Bo Levi to Mitchell, and I was devastated because this felt like if Justin Rankin wasn't going to win MLP, like this year just seemed like it was custom made and gift wrapped for Bo Levi Mitchell. He was rocking, and so I'm devastated, and I take no pleasure in having this conversation because I haven't been giddy for the last 3 years hoping to get to talk about Bo Levi Mitchell's career being over. But I mean, I'm sure he will heal. I'm sure he's going to try and come back. If he does and wins a Grey Cup, that would be the greatest story, I think, in CFL history for a long time. But he might come back, live out a few more games, but I don't know if we're going to see this level of Bo Levi Mitchell again. If we do,
I had to Google because I was like, there's no way that he's close to 40. He's 36. He turned 36 in March.
Still.
But the point stands is that at that
still
age,
on the side of 30.
Yeah, at that age, regardless, a broken bone is a broken bone. I don't know if we are going to see this, like, even if he does come back this year, which, I mean, all Hamilton had said was in their statement was that he had his surgery and he was on his way to recovery. Recovery of what? I mean, just to recover to be able to walk around, play a full healthy season. Nobody knows. I think your point is still valid, and at the same time, it sucks for Bo because um, he's had a fantastic season. I mean, I think there was a period, and it very well could be. That's how awesome it's been, where he's thrown more touchdowns than incompletions. Like that is a surprising stat that I heard. Like you can even throw a high completion percentage and still not come up with that kind of godlike stats. And the second thing is this is his third of improving seasons in Hamilton under Milanovic. Previously, he was the East representative for MOP, and he got eked out in 2024 by Brady Oliveira. Last year, he got eked out by Nathan Work. Essentially, at this time, it was Bo Levi versus Justin Rankin. Very well could have been Bo Levi at this rate because just the team was just motoring along as Bo Levi Mitchell did. And it's unfortunate that he was having that kind of MOP. I had a dream a couple nights ago, and I want some Hamilton Tiger Cat fans to I don't know, just remember this. I had a dream. The very similar to 2019. The Winnipeg Blue Bombers started out 5-0. They went 5-2, and eventually they were 7-2, where they lost Matt Nichols, and then they had to go with Chris Strevler for a good chunk of time until the trade deadline when they acquired Zach Collaros. This dream I had was they had to go through Jake Delagala or Trey Ford throughout the duration of the season. Bo Levi announces that he's not able to come back for this season. What happens if the Bombers go Drew Brown and he just lights it up for the rest of the season? And then by trade deadline, they say, you know what, Zach? There's a situation in Hamilton very similar. Why don't you go finish your season there? Try to win Hamilton the Grey Cup. Go back to where it started. Hamilton acquires Zach Collaros. Hamilton wins the Grey Cup in 2026. I don't know if that, highly unlikely, but how awesome would it be if that were to happen?
Mm-hmm. For me, it feels like we've just had too many of the Bo Levi injury comeback stories to have yet another one. But if someone's going to do it, it's going to be Bo Levi Mitchell, I think.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
I mean, just prior to his contract extension, we were like, oh yeah, he's going to retire. He's going to retire. There's no way that, I think his peak was last year. And then he just comes out and just like shreds defenses and secondaries like it's nobody's business. It's just unbelievable.
And honestly, how long has he been in Hamilton now? Because if you would have told me after that move where Calgary went in on Jake Maier, if you would have told me he would still, if we would get 3 more years of Bo Levi Mitchell in Hamilton, I probably would have thought you were insane.
Yeah, this is his fourth year in Hamilton.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
So the fact that he's even put in another 4 years after that is just peak Bo Levi Mitchell. What a go.
It just goes to show. And here's another thing here too. I think I don't have the stats here just because it just kind of popped in my head. They said that Bo Levi had he won last week's game, he would have surpassed Ricky Ray amongst QB wins. Wow. Then I was like, well, duh, Ricky Ray played for 16 seasons. And then it just dawned on me, it's like, wait a minute, Bo Levi played for 14 seasons. Like it's crazy to me
Nuts.
that in my mind, like I know that his age is his age, but for some reason, I'm still thinking Bo Levi has played less than double-digit seasons,
Yeah.
and he's just
And
getting
it
better.
almost makes you think that there's something about this league that doesn't just won't let its superstar quarterbacks go, because he's not the first one to do this. And it just seems like, I don't know what it is about the Canadian Football League that just preserves these guys and keeps the Damon Allens, the Dave Dickinsons, I'm going to forget everybody's name, the Ricky Rays,
Henry
these
Burris.
guys that play forever, the Henry Burrises, the now Bo Levi Mitchells, like Anthony Calvillo. I can't believe that wasn't the first name I said, but this game just seems to like to keep its lead, like its legends, like somehow there's something in the CFL that when you come here and if you hit legend status, the game just lets you keep going for as long as you want.
Yeah. Trevor Harris, because I know there's some Rider fans listening. They're like, say Trevor, damn it.
Well, we were talking about legends, but Trevor Harris too, like whatever.
All right, let's move on. Let's bring back some blind rankings. You got a theme for me this week?
I'm not going to tell you the theme because it might allow you to guess ahead.
All right.
If you pick up the theme, I'll be pretty surprised, but I'll still tell you what it is and why I chose this afterwards.
All right.
So the first player we're going to put on our list here in our blind ranking, there's 6 of them.
All right.
So you know where to put them. Player number 1 on our list of 6 is Doug Brown.
Oh, this is a list of players that are in a feud with our good listener, Dave.
There you go. That's not it, but
all right.
If it was, where would he rank in feuding players with Dave?
Okay, if that was the legit theme, and then it would be definitely number 1.
But it's not. So
I have a feeling of where this is going. So with that being said, he's been on our show, friend of the program, Hall of Famer. Doug Brown goes number 3.
Doug Brown at number 3.
I feel starting off blind rankings, 3 is the best way to go sometimes.
There you go. There's a player number 2 for you to rank is Brian Chu.
Okay, this isn't where I thought was going. Okay. But Brian Chu had a hell of a career.
Guest of the show. That's why you said guest of the show.
No. I was honestly, I thought you're going with players that have never won a Grey Cup.
Oh no, not that deep.
And then as soon as you said Brian Chu, it's like, nope, he's won a few. One hell of a career, primarily in Montreal. Heck of an offensive lineman. Is he from Simon Fraser? Is this where we're going, Simon Fraser? No, I can't remember. Offensive linemen don't generally get any out of the notoriety. So why make things different on these blind rankings? I'll get Brian Chu number 5.
Oh, I thought I was just about to start writing him into number 6 before you could answer, but either way. Okay, next up. Great running back out of the Calgary Stampeders, John Cornish.
Okay.
Legendary running back out of Calgary Stampeders, Lord.
Yeah, so John Cornish was primarily paved the road for Canadian running backs like Andrew Harris, Brady Oliveira. Not a lot of Rider fans like him because he mooned half of them, which might make him number 1 on this list. But I feel like he didn't have that long of a career for me to put him at number 1 anyway. So I think we're going to put him at number 2.
I like that.
Yeah.
Good by me.
I think if he had a couple more years, I think John Cornish probably would have been number 1. Unfortunately, Kyrie Bear kind of knocked him out back in 2014, and haven't seen him since.
The man did win a Canadian Male Athlete of the Year out of the Canadian Football League, so that's That's a hell of an amazing thing. Next up, let's go with Shea Emery.
Okay. I can't remember how long his career went, but it kind of fizzled out. I think he signed with Saskatchewan in 2015, and everybody knows how that season ended. I think I would put Shea Emery at number 6.
Number 6.
Good
Down
player.
you go, Emery.
I just can't see him being above Brian Chew.
There you go. Is that a knock against Brian Chew? Anyways,
No.
On our list up now is another Calgary Stampeder. Coincidence. There's no Stampeder Montreal alternating theme here. Davis Sanchez, who is a Stamp and a Malouette. So,
and another person that's been on our show.
Hey, coincidence.
Davis Sanchez.
He's 4 number 1.
Yeah, I was going to say 4 number 1. I can't put him past. He had a very long career. He had a very good NFL career too as well. I think he went to the NFL in 2001, came back in 2005 with I want to say, did he come back with the Alouettes? I know there was a couple of teams, and then he eventually won a Grey Cup with the BC Lions in 2011 too as well. Very long career. I do want to put him at number 1, but I might be.
But who's number 6 coming up here?
Well, yeah, you know what? I'm going to put up at number 4.
You can't. Sanchez is there. Sorry.
Yeah.
I already wrote it in. I'm like, hey, there's somebody there. I'm like, oh, no, I jumped the gun. Which means this, man, explain to us and Rider Nation why you picked Chris Zarka as the best of that group.
Oh.
And I know Rider fans are on the edge of their seat to listen to this praising of Chris Zarka.
The Zarka train. Definitely would have rewrote this list and had Zarka at number 5, maybe number 6. Yeah. And now I'm starting to second guess a lot of it. John Cordish, number 1, definitely. Maybe Doug Brown put him at number 2.
I was going to say, in playing rankings, are you allowed to re-rank them after you see your ranking, or do you have to live with what you picked?
Well, I think I have to live with what I picked.
Yeah.
I think those are the rules. Yeah. So
okay. So you can't re-rank them.
I can't re-rank them, but man, Chris, out of those athletes, Zarka, definitely not number 1. Sorry, Chris. You're a great fullback, running back, just not top 3. Sorry.
And why did I choose these 6 you're asking? For why we started the show. I thought it was pretty interesting. We started with a big thing with this, and on top of my being in BC, my wife is going to Vancouver next weekend for her work, so I figured let's celebrate some of the best that the province of BC has produced. Doug Brown and John Cornish from New Westminster, BC, a couple of Vancouver boys, and Brian Chew and Chris Zarka. We've got Shea Emery from Richmond, BC, and Davis Sanchez, Delta, BC. So nice. I wanted to celebrate some of the great players that the province of BC has spit out.
Awesome. All right.
And Chris Zarka is the best football player ever from BC, according to Dults, which means we will be getting a text from our favorite person from Pence, Saskatchewan.
Yeah. Be like, I knew you love Zarka. And he's a good guy. He's a good guy. Just not number 1. Let's go to
number 5.
No, let's go to week 6 preview, shall we? It starts tomorrow as we are recording. It is the Ottawa Redblacks in Edmonton. Ottawa is winless, and Ryan Dinwiddie is now quadrupling down on Jake Mayer. The Elks are favored by 6.5. When was the last time that we've seen the Elks favored by more than a field goal? It just seems like a long time. Over-under is set at 57.5. As far as I can see, no major injuries coming forth. I think still Nick Anderson I think Nick Anderson is about it on his way back. I took a look at the depth charts and I can't remember seeing his name. But Tony, where do you see this one going?
Oh my God. Any sort of analysis, this seems to be a waste of time. Like, what is Ryan Dinwiddie doing? Like, it's so stupid. Like, What are you doing, Ottawa? Like, I feel like I would be insulting the Elks by even making an argument of why you're going to be in this football game. And you're going to go down with that ship in Jake Mayer, then do it. And it pains me to say it because I just want Ottawa to be good so badly. But that may just be right now one of the worst football clubs in years in the Canadian Football League. 32-17, Elks get back on the winning track.
Yeah, and I should say ditto, right? I mean, just
Yeah.
And it's not that I was really. It's not that I really want to be down on Ottawa. It's just that, like, right now they seem to be making, and I had so much hopes. You know, you only needed to do this. There's 3 things that they needed to do, and they did them. And then they released one of their offensive linemen. They decided to start their backup quarterback. And then, of course, injuries took over, right? I mean, that happens. The injuries happen. You really can't use that as an excuse. But then you just double and triple, quadruple down on your bad mistake, on your bad decisions, and unfortunately, you look forward and see what Edmonton's doing. Edmonton, they went into a situation against a team that had to win, and they still made it close there. Some fatal errors there on Edmonton's part in BC, but at this time they are playing host. I don't see Ottawa doing that much, if anything at all. I don't think it's going to be like single digit, but I do think this is going to be a rout. I do have something like what you predicted. Edmonton 35-11 over the Ottawa Redblacks, which is definitely taking the under in this one. The Toronto Argonauts host the Winnipeg Blue Bombers in Winnipeg. Yes, you heard that correctly. It is another Toronto home game on the road, thanks to the World Cup. The Argonauts are favored by 2.5 points. I'm not too sure if that is the home field advantage predicting that, or if that's just the betting experts indicating that they are favoring the Argonauts. The over and under is at 59.5. So obviously defense is going to be at a limit. Drew Brown appears to be, the Bombers only had about 1 practice. Zach Collaros is questionable for Friday. And it looks like we possibly could see a Taylor Elgersma / Drew Brown pairing against the Argonauts in this home game, or in this away game. And Cameron Judge appears to be out as well. Those are the only notable injuries that I can see on both sides. So now let's get to the preview. If it is Taylor Elgersma starting, I expect Toronto just to load the box, make things a little bit more difficult. Load the box, show blitz, but not even blitz that much. Make Taylor Elgersma, or even Drew Brown, hand off to Brady. Make you think that you were blitzing, and then hand it off, and then just confuse the heck out of that quarterback, because I think it might be a little bit easier. Now, having said that, Tommy Condell offenses have had some pretty good showings against this Toronto defense in years past. Not a lot of winning success, but a lot of production. So I definitely am going to take the over on this one, but we know what Winnipeg's secondary is able to do, or lack thereof. Can Winnipeg get to the quarterback? They have not been able to get to the quarterback on a regular basis since week 1. They were able to disrupt the Tiger Cats after specifically with Bo Levi, as well as after his injury. So can they do that again with Chad Kelly? Chad Kelly was just embarrassed last week. So you imagine he's going to come back with extra motivation. I do see Toronto winning this one. Take the over on this one, 35-30 over the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Tony, where do you get at this one?
And I do want to fact check myself before I open my mouth here. So Okay, I'm taking Toronto because I think they're a good football team. I don't know if that's the high altitude talking and thinning out the oxygen to my brain, but I think the Toronto Argonauts are a good football team. And yeah, they got their asses handed to them by the Stampeders, but they put 36 points on the Stampeders. Like, yeah, you gave up 58. That's embarrassing. But you got dominated, and somehow you didn't get dominated because you still ran up almost 40 points on the Stampeders. Like 36 points this season wins you football games, and pretty usually convincingly. So I take, as much as I enjoyed watching that football game, I'm still going to see more than just the score. I'm going to see that the Toronto Argonauts can still put the ball in the end zone. They can. That offense is still good. Your defense got embarrassed, but your offense showed up. You shouldn't be bashing the team. Bash the defense, or praise the Calgary Stampeders for bringing everything on that day. And the 2-2 record by the Argonauts, that is what it is. But I think the Argonauts are a good football team. And watching the Bombers last week, I don't think they're a good football team. I don't think that was a convincing win by the Bombers. There's no such thing as a bad there's no such thing as a bad win, but there is an ugly win, and one that's not convincing me that the Bombers were the better football team on that day. They just used that last drive to their advantage. And that can open up a bag of worms, or that proves that they're good because they can come back. But I do not think fully that they were the better team last week against the Hamilton Tiger Cats and whatever, but they got the win. That's all that's important in Bomber. It doesn't matter how, just matters how many wins you get. So I am taking the Toronto Argonauts to win this one, not overly convincing, but I think they are going to be the better football team on the day, 28-15.
I will say this, because I'm glad you brought that up, because I think I brought this up online somewhere. Yeah, the Bombers looked out of sync. When QB1 went out, it got even more. It got worse. That final drive, reminded me of the Bombers of year past, like when they had the lead going into the fourth quarter, just handed off the 12 minutes left to go in the fourth, hand it off to Brady, take 10 minutes off the clock, and then you either end up with a field goal or a touchdown. That reminded me of the Bombers of years past, and I don't know if that's just kind of like hopeless optimism there, but it's been a while since we saw that, and it brought some sort of nostalgia towards me. So we're on the same page there. Let's go to the next game on Saturday night. Is the Calgary Stampeders are in Montreal to play the Alouettes, fresh off that ass kicking. By the way, we haven't done a magnificent bastard. Impromptu, the Vernon Adams, 6 touchdowns, including actually 5 touchdowns with his right hand, and then 1 with his left hand. And then he ran one in. Like, Jesus Christ! Like, save the touchdowns for the rest of the season. There, BA.
Yeah, it's like
Calgary Stampeders are the Alouettes are favored by 3.5, and the over/under is set at 61.5. I think we are going to see the over on this one. Clearly, where do you see this one going?
all right. I like the Calgary Stampeders in this one. I'm not going all in on that win last year because I'm a Calgary Stampeders fan, and I know that this can go either way. One massive win does not mean the Calgary Stampeders are back on track. I will say, though, I can't remember the last time, but I know it's probably within the last 5 or 6 years, but overall, I don't remember the last time our special teams could return a football and convincingly return a football. So that's got me very excited for the Stampeders. As much as Vernon Adams also deserves to be the magnificent bastard this week, I also want to know and get your censor button ready for this one. Why in the F was Vernon Allen still playing that football game as late into the game as he was? I get you're letting him have a career night. I get you think you're leaving a pitcher in there to the ninth inning to try and get the no-hitter. But guys, you're not this good. That game is not a reflection of how good you are. You just had a fantastic night. We haven't won a playoff game in years. This is not the time to be letting VA pad his stats. And miraculously that you could get 6 touchdowns, put 58 points on the board, and still not come close to Matt Dunnigan's, 720 yards passing? Just continues to magnify how amazing that feat was. And I'm not trying to downplay Vernon Adams. I just, for some reason, felt necessary to once again praise Matt Dunnigan for that football game. But at the end of the day, I am still going to give the benefit of the doubt to the Stampeders on this one, but a close one. It's not going to be another blowout because it's Montreal, but Montreal can lose football games too this year. Calgary 27-26 Montreal. 1 point.
Yeah, and I think the more the season goes, I think Montreal seems to be the consensus, the team with less holes in their game, but also seems to be the most overrated team because this team should be putting teams away like early and often.
Yeah.
Like they
I will
come
say
out.
this, and I don't want to steal your time, but I will say this. If you want to throw a bet down right now, if you trust me, if you want to throw a bet down right now, I think the Argonauts are going to represent the East in the Grey Cup.
Wow. All right. Okay. Well, we'll see that. I mean, that
throw down
lane.
$2 on that one. Go online. Go if you can get it. Wherever if you go to Sports Interaction, if they let you do it, throw down $2 because we don't promote hardcore, responsible gambling here. So $2. I'm saying if I will put money on that. I will put my money on that. So there you go.
All right. By the way, yes, we are partnered with the good people over at Sports Interaction. Go to SIA.com/Rouge. Your first deposit is matched up to 100%. And as Tony said, please play and gamble responsibly. While you talk, I will actually just sort of see what that payout would be for Toronto to be in the Grey Cup. On this note, as I was saying, is that I think, is Calgary a 0-3 team? No. So, it doesn't surprise me that they ended up winning that one last week. Do I think Calgary is the type of team that could put that kind of game on a consistent basis? No. I think last year it was like, it was in spurts. Defensively, that was their backbone of that team. I think that defense can balance out Montreal's offense, but I don't think, I think VA put us about 3 games worth of last week, and I think it's just going to be a subtle decline there. I think defensively, Calgary hangs for the most part, and then Montreal does pull away. I do have maybe the under in this one, but take Montreal 35-24 over the Calgary Stampeders. I think that is good enough for the under based on that one, if my math is correct. Last game of the week is I lost my schedule there. It is the Hamilton Tiger Cats in Saskatchewan to play the Riders. The Riders are favored by 8.5, and the over-under is set at 54.5. Big breaking news: the Hamilton Tiger Cats will be starting Jake Dolegala instead of Trey Ford. We can have a conversation as to whether or not that would be the better decision, but I digress. The Tiger Cats have also signed Jared Deggy as well as Harrison Frost back up from the UFL in negotiations. So that should be some good competition for the number 3. But at this point, it looks like AJ Ouellette is coming back. Trevor Harris is playing some very good football. And defensively, Hamilton is number 1 in a lot of categories. So I think that is kind of a wash, where the difference is what will Jake Dolegala do? I've never seen someone to put together one good game in 2023 and use that to catapult into a lengthy backup career, because he hasn't done anything since that one Labor Day game on behalf of the Saskatchewan Roughriders. I don't think this is any close. I do think this is the under on this one, because I don't think Hamilton has that offensive power without Bo Levi Mitchell. But I do have the Saskatchewan Roughriders winning this one 30-20. Tony.
Yeah, not much to elaborate there. I have Hamilton 36, or sorry, I have Saskatchewan 36-10. Oops, that was a bad slip up. But yeah, I'm not taking Hamilton. And I mean, defense can be great in the league, but if they play 36 minutes, they're the greatest defense in the world isn't going to win that football game for you. So yeah, there's really no much more. Saskatchewan's a better football team now, and Hamilton is a much worse football team now. 36-10 Rough Riders.
On that note, so it looks like that we are on the same page for a lot of them, a lot of these games. So one of us is going to get the Mr. Perfect treatment, or both of us are going to get the Mr. Perfect treatment. Yes. On a related note, SIA doesn't have the Eastern Championship futures, but the Argonauts to win the Grey Cup are 7-1, so a $5 bet is a return of $40. Not bad.
Yeah, $40 is $40.
Yeah, I don't think they'll win it, but if you get there,
you can revisit this show.
It's a good bet, and I tell you, that road to the Grey Cup just became very widened with the possibility of Hamilton not even giving them a shot at this point. Mm-hmm. That'll wrap it up for this week's podcast. If you are interested in getting into contact with us, you can go do so through social media at Rouge Radio, myself at Rouge Dalton, Tony at Tony Rouge, and of course on Facebook at facebook.com/Rouge Radio. We are also have this podcast available on YouTube, as well as some daily content on the TikTok at Rouge Radio Pod. And of course, you can email us some questions at thenewrouge@gmail.com. Tony, any final thoughts before we wrap it up?
Yeah, I feel like now that I've thrown out this tribute to British Columbia football products, I feel like I'm eventually going to have to make my way through all the provinces this season goes along. And I'm sure if I have like 2 players, you can probably figure out the provinces by that point, but we'll see what we can do as the season goes along. But I won't do it back to back, because then you'll be ready for them. So we'll see.
Your next theme is like Cliff Clavin on Cheers. Players that have not been in my kitchen.
There you go. All right. Excited for
not a lot of people get that reference. All right. For Tony, I'm Dalton. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week.
Thanks for listening. Find more great shows like this at CF Pod Network on Twitter.